Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Hello Destiny friends, welcome to Dice Commando, and good morning. So this weekend on Saturday was the ARH Mid-Cycle Event, the Redemption Championships. I did decide and I was able to take part and play in that. The event went really well. It had 30 some odd players, at the end, once everybody, once we got the drops out of the way. I think it was like 32, 33 players in there, so pretty good turnout. The event went really well. So this morning what I wanted to do was kind of do a rundown of my own experience leading up into the event, and then kind of give my event rundown going blow by blow. Hey folks, thanks for joining me. And when I said good morning, I wasn't joking. It's just before 5 a.m. here today. I took basically yesterday off from family duties in order to play in the tournament, and today I'm on baby duty while Amy, my wife, gets to go up skiing. So got to get this done before little man wakes up. So so let's go ahead and just pop over to the top 16 results from Swiss. So like I said, there was 30 some odd change people, which did translate into 5 rounds. They then decided to do a 8 cut. I wanted to go through the top 16 results though, because that was what was basically being prized out from the spot gloss standpoint. So Rebel Trader took first in Swiss with Hondo Pirate Loyalists. Rebel Trader also did end up winning the event, so congratulations to Rebel Trader. I ended up taking second, so shout out to the Portland boys for first and second. Now, I placed second, but that doesn't in Swiss, and obviously I lost in the top 8. But also it's just a strength of schedule thing, right? There were several of us that had 4 wins, so group us all together, right? So I was on Anakin Leia. We then had Volker and Ace John at 3 and 4 respective on Hondo Pirate Loyalists. Rainmaker was running Chewie Lumpy Tribe. Hippo was running Annie Lumpy Hoth Trooper. Byrus was on Anakin Leia. Vika on RDM Maul Sauvage, so the new Maul Sauvage combo. Norman was on Wolf Waro Kashyyyk Warrior Tribe, Wookiee Warrior Tribe. I heard that was maybe a mill deck. I didn't see that in action. Like to hear more if you know that. Ryan 077 played him in round 1. He was playing Akbar. Rock Control was on Kragan, PL, and Skreek. Don't see a lot of Skreek. Mephisto is on E-Palp, E-Ozzel, and Watching Your Career with great interest. Eardron was on E-Dengar Hondo. Echo 3 of Clubs was on E-Dengar Hondo. Eric was on Luke Dak DDS, affectionately Rogue Leader DDS. And Jeff Weiss was on Anakin Leia. So, I think the takeaway there, and I do want to have a meta chat. I'm actually going to shoot that right after this if I have the time. I do want to have kind of a meta chat, but it's on paper, it's pretty diverse. I think that the diversity is a little, we can cut data however we want to cut it, right? But it's obvious that it's obvious that Pyre is at the top. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Anakin Leia had a really good showing. The deck that I think did a really good job that surprised people was Maul Sauvage. So let's go ahead and go into my deck and how I played it. So. The disclaimer, it's not really a disclaimer here. The explanation here is, if you guys have been following the channel videos, the gameplay videos, I've been running Anakin Leia for about 2.5 weeks now, getting prepped for this event. I pivoted to Akbar the last couple days just because Akbar I have this inevitability problem, and when I sit down versus Akbar, I don't feel like I can win. So I really wanted to play Akbar so that I could, in testing, so that I could figure out kind of what to do against him. So I did that the last couple days, and then I went back to Annie Leia. But I never intended on playing Akbar in the tournament. I just wanted to kind of figure out, what was going on there. Because I hadn't really played Akbar, from a late meta standpoint. All right, so my deck put together now, I think you guys have been familiar with my deck building strategy. I as a player, I tend to do very well in Swiss, or I tend to do better in Swiss than I do in Top Cuts, which has been evidenced by pretty much every tournament I've gone to in Destiny, right? Do well in Swiss and then get bumped in the first round of Top Cut. But I think that's because I generally build my decks to be more open and flexible with the field, right? Whereas people who are really known in the meta, when once you get to that Top Cut and they know your deck list and all your tricks are gone, I think that's always why I have a disadvantage. Or it's not that I have a disadvantage, it's that I lose my surprise advantage generally. So, again, this deck's pretty consistent. I was running Deathwatch Hideout. I know most people run the Salt Flats. The extra cash is really what I found I needed for some of my events as we go through it. So upgrades, I'm a little shyer than where a lot of people run this. I'm only at 11. I have Annie's Lightsaber, 2 Force Valors. That upgrade's amazing. 2 Jedi Sabers, obviously. 2 Nemons. 2 Killian, which, again, that serves the dual purpose. A lot of times, really a pretty awesome late game trying to do that, because once Vader flips, he becomes a villain, and then you can ping one on him. And 2 Yoda's Lightsaber. Yoda's Lightsaber, I think, was a mistake. There's a couple times I was able to get the special off, but overall, I think Yoda's could be something better with how much ramp cards I have in here, because for 4, I have Binds and Merchant. Usually you would play, like I said, on Yoda. We don't need to go too deep dive into it, but Yoda's usually was a traditional blue hero thing that you'd play return 1 and then overwrite. But with as much ramp as I'm playing, it just didn't make sense. I ended up just kind of wasting it a lot of times. Events would it Apt Lesson, that fits in with the draw closer play. I was only playing one of those. Dark Reflections really was the kind of the blowout card in this deck. It can also be kind of soft control, but really you're trying to flip into 2s across the board. Discipline Mind, that's really weak if you lose Annie. It's really tough to play that card with only 1 Jedi, but what else are you going to do for removal? Fluid Riposte, the Riposte, Force Affinity, Nullify is obvious. That's the only 0 in the deck. 1 Overqualified and 1 Rising Whirlwind. So, after seeing Virus's deck playing against him, we can talk about that a bit later, but he had a better deck. Like, he straight up had a lot better tech includes. So I would make some of those changes. Certainly would make some of those changes. So, all right, let's go ahead and go through. Let's go ahead and go through the round. So first round I lost. This was against Akbar. I made a play mistake. It was first round of the day, and it was early, and I kind of got up late and had to rush. But I'm not making excuses. Actually, I think that things worked out pretty well. Putting me in the track that I did, not having to run into pirates, I think was nice for my mental health. I was kind of ready for pirates, but again, my mental health was not going to be good if I had to do a bunch of pirates all day. So, the mistake I made, the videos will go up, but the mistake I made ultimately was he rolled out Akbar and he got 2 guns. He got 2 gun, and I think it was a 4 indirect at that point. Might have only been a 3 indirect at that point, but I knew I was going to lose Annie, and Annie had her Killian redeploy on him, and I was so focused on getting the redeploy over to Leia that I didn't realize I could have activated Leia and Guardianed, and it was just a dumb bonehead mistake. I lost Annie. I don't know if I would have ended up winning the game or not, because he had triggered Camino. But I think it would have had a better shot, right? So that was a huge play mistake to start the tournament. So that wasn't a good starting point mindset wise, because I even knew it like right afterwards, right? So going around 2, Akbar again, right? Fantastic. Again, that just the feeling of inevitability of I just feel helpless when I sit down. It's against Akbar, but I was able to pull this one out. The reason is. He was forced. I rolled. The game went different in terms of rolls this time, and I was able to get damage on early, which made him eject, and he had to eject an X-Wing. And that, I mean, obviously, right, that's how eject is meant to, right? We've talked about this. This is how eject is meant to be played. Is it's supposed to be a trade-off, right? If you're going to get that 4 value of it, you're going to have a trade-off. And that 4 value ended up costing him way more than 4 value over the course of the game in the X's on his X-Wings, right? So that one was a pretty easy win overall. But again, it just turns out if you roll well early, things go better for you, right? I mean, shocker there. Next one was against DC team member, Echo Base member, Echo 3. He's running Dengar, Hondo. This was another match that I was actually really worried about because of all just the ping and cumulative and, get vibro cutlasses and all that stuff down. And I was able to take Dengar out pretty easy. I think I got some hits in, and then I think I got an early dark reflections. And Dengar basically got deleted, I think, the beginning of round 2. And I was able to flip Vader. So, and generally once you flip Vader, like, it's pretty tough to do anything. Now, he did get 2 of those black market arm thingies on Hondo, and Hondo was 18 health, I think. But it was just a matter of chewing through him, really. The 4th round was versus DDC team guy Eric, who was running Daklug DDS, and actually pretty well positioned versus the field. Now, he wasn't DDS destroyed the Death Star, by the way. Now, he did mention that he went for destroy the Death Star on Lumpy Chewie, which I think is actually really smart. I think it was really smart. So I don't remember. I don't think he pulled it off. I don't remember if he did or not, but that was really smart. But otherwise, he wasn't going for it, right? I mean, you guys remember I ran that, and maybe you don't remember, but I ran that in the release tourney. And, trying to go for destroy the Death Star is pretty much a trap, because you can't re-roll, you can't fix your dice, you have to hit it. So otherwise, it just pumps out a bunch of guns. Dak is another really, really, really great character. And he played it well. Ended up pulling that one out. Went for Dak first and was able to pull that out. Round 5 was against Vika. He was playing his Maul Savage United. I think he made a calculated move, and I think it was a mistake. So he had a whole bunch of specials out ready to resolve dice. He was kind of just waiting for me to roll into it, and he passed. So I passed, and it let me get another activation out of Annie to put 2 more damage into Maul, and I was able to drop Maul and then leave him with Savage. And even though he was able to afford to flip Savage at that point, it was kind of already over. So I think that was really just the defining moment in the game. You always got to be aware of a really good player. Obviously I face good players all day, but you have to be really aware of someone like Vika. So I was kind of being more calculated and chess matchy with that one. But yeah, when he passed, I absolutely, even though there was dice out there and there was other stuff to do, I passed and was able to get more points out of Anakin. So I think that really set me above. I don't, I'll go back and look at it. I don't know if it was technically a play error on his side, but passing into me passing, that's I believe what won me the game. So, all right, so that took care of Swiss. So I was feeling pretty good at that point. Like I told you guys, I know I don't do great in top cuts, especially best 2 out of 3s. The mirror match, so in top 8 was a mirror match versus another Anakin Leia Virus's deck. Like I said, the deck lists actually weren't public. So I do have to clarify something I said about losing tricks. The deck lists actually weren't public before him and I had started playing. I think Lands had made them public slightly after. So I sat down, and the first game just went really bad. It went really bad, and I knew about halfway through the second round that it was over. So I started intentionally making some... there was a point where I had 4 and I could have put Leia down, but I wasn't going to win. Basically I was playing my out. I wasn't going to win. Even if I put Leia down, I wasn't going to win. And my only way I was going to win is if things went really bad for him and I was still able to drop Leia on the next turn and flip Vader. Right? So I put the 4 into, right? So if you were looking at the stream, you're like, why the hell didn't he drop Leia? The reason is two reasons. One, I was trying to get more deck knowledge for the next game because he had a bunch of stuff that I hadn't really comprehended how it works. So I wanted more deck knowledge, and then 2, I was playing my outs because I wasn't going to win anyway. So I was trying to. It was a Hail Mary, right? It was I'll do it. And if everything's go my way, I'm probably going to lose anyway. So like I said, I was just playing that out there. So no regrets on that first game. The second game was a little more tactically close. I still ended up, overall I got curb stomped. He had better tech. It was great deck building. What was it? Force Mirage that killed me. I had to read the card twice. Like, I just didn't comprehend that card was even a card. And that's not how you neither win nor deserve to be, in the top 4, right? So I got the better player won, the better deck builder won. So all right, so that's a rundown of the tournament. Overall, I was pretty happy with my performance. I was really happy with the turnouts that they got. They, I was looking at the signups like 2-3 days before, and I think they only had like 12 people like through Wednesday, and then it jumped up, and people joined late. Myself, I didn't pay until I think like 12 or 13 hours before the tournament started, right? That's probably not true. Maybe 18 hours. Either way. So I was glad to see that they got enough people that it wasn't like automatically everybody is top 16, right? So the other thing that was nice was because like I said, with the trade I made for Saturday, Sunday, I wasn't going to be able to play in the top cut if it was Sunday. So everybody except one voted to do it that day, and that person was Trader. Trader was gracious enough to say, yeah, let's just go ahead and play it. So we played it last night, which was great, because I think there were a couple other people that probably weren't going to be able to play also, is what I was hearing. So that was nice. But obviously, if it had been a 16 cut, that wouldn't have been an option. So, things worked out. So pretty good event. They did also note, they did announce the set 11 name and release date, which is, wow. Right, so they released that as well during, I think, my cut match that was streamed. Unfortunately, it's nothing like getting curb stomped in a stream. So all right, so I'm going to shoot another video after this, because we've already been here for long enough. I'm going to shoot another video that's kind of with my mid-cycle thoughts, because I expect now that mid-cycle's done, they'll probably implement some balance changes. So I kind of want to give my thoughts on the meta overall. I want to pull up one more time the results, just to throw up the top 16 results. Just last time, one more with my comment. Like, if you look at the number of decks, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different decks, right? Is that right? Something like that. I think it's 10 or 11 different decks in the top 16. I'm trying to count it here and talk at the same time. Sorry. But I don't think that represents, though, how somebody's going to use that data and say, wow, look at a diverse meta we have. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. But data is data, and we can all roll it up how we want. So anyway, thanks to all my opponents. I think all my matches were mostly polite. There's a lot of good players out there, and a lot of people know each other. A lot of those guys give each other a lot of flack, and poor Lanza sure takes a beating. But I know that all those guys talk each other all the time. So, but if you're somebody on the outside listening, you'd be like, man, what's going on in this community? But anyway, so with that said, again, thanks to everyone. I really enjoy playing guys at a high level like this, and I felt that it felt. Let me rephrase that. I felt that, for playing at the high level, most of the guys were still pretty casual about it. That's probably skewed because I was two DC team guys I ran up to, and Vika's always polite. So again, we've got a pretty good community over here from a, pure competitive standpoint, this being, what it was. So, but at least those are the guys I ran into. There are others that, I didn't run into this weekend. So anyway, like I said, I'll be back very shortly, shooting another video. Again, thanks to the ARH guys for putting this on. If you guys have any other thoughts or stuff, make sure to drop it in. I'll be going deck tech on Tuesday for the DC team folks. I'll be going through some stuff that I learned and I'm thinking. And yeah, we'll go from there. So nothing else, folks. Thanks for joining me today, and go Commando.